Hello friends, welcome to the video. My name is Jov and this is SDRN Development Screencast. In a previous episode, we managed to write our first UI test using the Jetpack Compose APIs. However, the test is failing, but it's not failing for the right reason. So the reason it is failing right now is that it cannot find the UI elements that we are searching for in the test because they are not existing yet. So our job in this video would be to write that UI so that this test is failing for the right reason. So afterwards we can focus on the actual business logic, and once the business logic is done, this test will actually pass. So let's see how that's gonna go. So here is the test that we wrote in the previous video, and I'm just gonna run this to see it failing and understand why it is failing. So as we can see now, the application is being launched, but the test fails because, as we can see here, it tries to find a UI element where it can type the email. Basically, it looks for a text input with email, so it can. Because if you haven't seen the previous episode where we wrote this test, you can actually go ahead and check that one first. So basically, it tries to find an element having a sort of hint with email, basically any text with email, and then tries to perform a text input on it. So that's why it is failing. Now let's go ahead and see the actual code. That this is something that was generated when we created the project. We haven't touched anything in this code yet. So what we actually have here is only a label, which is for the greeting, and that's not what we want. What we want is a screen where we can do the sign up. So I'm just imagining something like, I don't know, a simple screen where we are gonna have a email and a password and then a sign up button, and that's pretty much it. We can start simple and then build on top and see if we need something else or how that's gonna go. So first of all, I just want to delete these ones here because I won't need them. And what I need is to call a composable function here that's gonna represent my sign up screen. Something like this. And of course this does not exist, so let's go ahead and create it. So here, as we can see, I have created a sign up package in my UI test. So I'm just gonna be packaging the things by features, and I can also do the same here. So I need a Kotlin file. I can name it whatever. Sorry, first let's go ahead and create a package and call it sign up, and then create this file. I can name it pretty much whatever, but because the sign up screen is gonna be hosted there, like that function, I'm just gonna call it a sign up. Not typo, not sing, but sign up. And here all we have to do is write a composable function, and back in my screen I just have to import it, and that's pretty much it for this one. For the main, I can just forget about it and close it. And here is my screen, and I can use the preview annotation in order to see what I'm doing, but I have to say that I think it doesn't really work well. At least it doesn't work as well as it as the XML layout editor works. The XML layout editor is just working pretty fine at this point of time. Jetpack Compose like the preview it's not quite there, but I'm just hoping that in some of the following releases they're gonna make it, like they're gonna stabilize it. So that's our screen. So let's go ahead now and start working on that one. So basically what we need is sort of a vertical hierarchy, vertical something that we would have if this was XML, a linear layout of a vertical type. So something that represents that thing in Jetpack Compose is called column. So we can start off by a column. And then this column has to feed the width and the height of the screen. And in order to do that, we need to use modifier. So modifier is something that can help us here. Modifier is how we actually change things like, I don't know, like the size, the margins, the paddings, and that kind of things. So I would say modifier dot fill max width, fill max height, or fill max size. So I need, by saying size, I can actually say at once I need both width and height. Okay, the autocomplete sort of doesn't work well. So that's gonna be my column. And then just for the sake of curiosity to see if the preview works, let's just have a simple text in here, and I'll just say create an account, and I think I'll just have to hit this button myself manually, otherwise it wouldn't work. But okay, I think now this is sort of my vertical, the column where I'm gonna be putting the things. So I'm just gonna have some sort of title that's gonna be create an account, and then I need input fields basically for email, and yeah, there we go. Now we can show the create an account in the preview, which doesn't look quite right. But we can think about and work on the actual layout later to make it sort of more appealing and better. For now, let's just also have the I would say outline text field, and that's actually an edit text, if you will, what we would have in an XML. This is sort of the alternative in Jetpack Compose. So initial value would be, let's say, an empty one, and then on value change is sort of the interaction, what happens with the value. But for now, I'll just leave it empty. And then that one's gonna have a also I need a label for this one. So by applying label to it, that's actually how I can have a hint there. I just want to show hint that this is an email field, and then the user will know what to type in there. So the label will be also a text, and for the text I think I already have a so for the text I have a string resource. That's our string. I think it's it was called email. Now I need to import this one. Yeah, it was email. So that's my label. And now we'll need to do the same. Outline text field, initial value nothing, on change nothing, and also here I'll need a label, which is actually going to be a text, and it's gonna be a string resource that's gonna be the password, and on value, what I'm missing here is, yeah, bracket there. Cool. So now I have my screen title basically, then I have an email and then a password, and what I'm missing is a button, and then the button on click will do nothing at this point. We'll figure that out later, but I certainly need this button to have a text, which is gonna be also a string resource sign up. And now let's run the test and see if it's gonna fail, for what reason it is going to fail. So now we have the fields, and it says that yes, that's the failure that I was expecting. Now the test fails for the right reason. It is looking for a for an element on the screen that says timeline, and it doesn't find any, which is basically what we need. So now it tries to actually enter some valid email and valid password in the fields, clicks on the sign up, and nothing happens. So that's the failure that I was looking for, and that's great. So now let's see what has changed actually. So let's maybe check this in first. Well, first, yeah, I think I can just check both of these files, and then I want to make this screen sort of better. I wanna work a little bit on the screen and make it nicer, so that we can see how we can get a little bit more sort of idea of how Compose works and how to work with Compose in general. So let's check this in. Initial sign up screen UI. Back to the code. Now let's work on this one and make it look better. So first of all, this create an account is, I don't want it hard-coded. So let's make this one also a string resource. And a string resource is gonna be a, let's say, create an account. And the value will be create an account. Good. And now we can actually see, okay, I can build it, but we can see here pretty much the preview, and it doesn't really look right. So what we can actually start off with first is we can add some padding on the root, on the actual column, so it will move it will add some padding on the sides. And to do that, we can also use the modifier here, and we can say add some padding to it, like let's say 16 dps, and we should import the dps. And then this screen title here, it has to be, I would like to make it in the middle of the screen, sort of move it to the right of the to the middle of the screen horizontally. So in order to do that, how we actually put the things in a horizontally on the screen is we can use row. So that's something similar to the column. If the column is sort of vertical, then the row is sort of horizontal. So how we can put the things next to each other. So let's wrap this this into a row, and now the row, I'll also assign a modifier to it. So I'll provide a modifier with fill max width in this case, and then I think that's gonna be it. And I also need, in order to put the contents inside this row to go to the middle of the screen, something that is similar to the gravity in the what we used to have in the XML. I can do a horizontal arrangement, and there are a bunch of options here that we can do. So for example, space evenly or space between. For example, if I have, for example, multiple things in the row, which is also applicable for a column, by spacing them evenly, it will dedicate equal space to each of them. But at this case, I just need to move the title to the center, and that's gonna be it. Now, because the preview is not really working, I'm thinking to maybe run the app and see it on a actual emulator. So let's see. And indeed, as we can see here, I haven't set the colors and stuff, and that's why now everything is black, but I can just switch the theme for now until I set up the colors, and we can see it. So there is nice little padding around in the root, and then I moved also the title in the middle of the screen, but I think it would be better if this title is bigger, so we can also do something like style is gonna be a typography, let's say H4. Stop and rerun. Now, because I think I did have set up the themes. I mean, by default, it is setting up the themes, but because I didn't have style, maybe that's why. Let's, out of curiosity, check that. No. Okay. I thought that it's gonna change the color of the text based on the theme, but it doesn't. I have to do additional work for that. But okay, now I have the screen title, and I think I want to move now my input fields a bit further down, so I need some space between the title and the actual input fields. So I'll just do some, let's say, height of, I don't know, 16 dp should be enough. So then I have these two. I don't know if I want some space between them. Let's see how it works, how it looks. Okay, then I'll just check that checkbox, and from now on I'm not gonna have any problems. Okay. Now what I need is I need to also make these guys, these two, to fill the width of the screen, and for that, of course, we'll need another. We'll need to pass a modifier here. So the modifier is gonna be a fill width, and then the same here. And then I need some spacing, I think this one, between the between the password field and the sign up button, and the button should also be let me paste maybe modifier, and that should do. Let's see how it looks now. Cool, it looks way better. But now if I try to type something here, it doesn't work. Because that's how Compose actually works. We have to take care of how we are gonna store the value, which is sort of which is sort of state. So basically, whenever we type something, that's a state of the component of that composable. So we have to take care of that. So first, let's maybe check this in. And I'm not sure whether I should commit or maybe, yeah, I'll just make a commit. I was thinking about amending the previous one, but I think if I take a look at the history afterwards, it will be cleaner for me that like what I actually improved instead of amending the thing. So improved the UI, the UX, no, the look and feel of the sign up screen. And now what I want to do is I want to split this into separate functions. So for example, this one is going to be this one's gonna be screen title. And let's maybe pull this thing as a yeah, I want to pull this as a parameter. The parameter is gonna be a string resource. Well, I'm not sure if that's a good name. Maybe screen title. Yeah, I'm just gonna do resource. And then I can even say that it's gonna be a string res. Cool. So now I like it better. And then I have a spacer, and then let's extract this one. And that's gonna be my username. Not username, but email. That's my email field. I don't know whether I should name it email field or some, well, I can just rename anytime later. So one thing that I have to do first here is to what happens when the value changes. So basically I need to remember the state. When the value changes, that's actually a state that's gonna be changing, but because this is a composable of itself, I don't want to hoist the state here inside this composable, but rather offer to whoever is calling this function to hoist the state itself. So here, what I'm just gonna take is a on value change, which is going to be a I think it's a lambda that turns sorry, that turns string into unit. and then here I can just assign it like this, and then the initial value is value, and then whenever I'm calling this, I can basically do the following now. I can remember this one. Remember, I need this remember. No calculations there, but rather I need a lambda mutable state of this. I need some imports, I guess. Yeah, I think if I go here, yeah, this is something that doesn't work out of box. I have to do it myself. Get value, and I think I'm just gonna use set value to. So I have to do these imports myself. So that's my email, and then on email field, and then on value change is actually I should have also do this email, and then email is gonna be it, and then here I have to expose the value itself as well, because here this is not the initial but the actual the current one. So here I have to take the value to string, yeah, so here's gonna be a value, and then on value change, and here that's what I wanted to do. Now if I run, so now I am hoisting my email here in the actual signup composable, and then later on I'll be able, so now if I start typing here, as we can see, the text is kept in the email, and that's what I want, and that's good. And the reason why I want to hoist it here is that my sign up button is also here, so on click I'll be able to pass the values of the email and the password wherever I am going to be sending them later on. So that's about my email field. Let's do the same for the password. So here on value change is, let's maybe take here on value change and also a value, and then here use them. But because this is a password, I also want to be able to have a toggle to see see the password, and you know, like how the password fields are having sort of an eye on the right, so when you tap it you can see the password and so on. Let's first see if this works. So my value would be, I have to do the same for my password. and this is the actual initial value of the whatever I'm remembering. And here the value is gonna be my password, and then on value change, the password's gonna be it. And now if I run, my password also works, but as we can see, it is not hiding the things. So in order to be able to hide it, so for the password for showing and hiding, let's move the email above the password. So then I'm gonna have here semantically like I'm gonna have like email, password, and then here the same order, email and then password. So for the password field, I think first of all I'm just gonna need a vector for the hide and show icon. So let's go ahead and create a, well, no, I think I can do this. Vector asset. And then here I can select this thing. And then it's gonna be 24 by 24, color is black. I just don't like the name. I see visibility, and that's about it. Now we can see it as well. That's what I was expecting. Let's reformat a bit. Now here, what I want to do is for the password, here I have to also I think there is something like trailing icon. Let me see what's the actual right word. Oops. Yeah, trailing icon. And then I think I can just use vector. No, it should be an image. Yeah. And painter should be vector painter resource, probably. I hope so. So that's the one. Let's do the formatting a bit better. So we have a painter, and then we have a content description, which is gonna be string resource or string toggle visibility. And of course this one is not there, so let's create. Toggle visibility. Cool. Let's see how it looks if I got what I wanted. Yeah, I think now the because it's white, let's maybe remove the tint here. and then I'm gonna have I don't know, for now I'm just gonna have black color. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And now let's do the clickable. Let's make this clickable, and then on click change. I think I need a maybe instead I can use image button. Oops. It's not. Oh, there is no image. Ah, well, icon button. That's the one that I was looking for. And then what we need to provide here is, I think, well, let's look at the API. Yeah, it's content. So my image should be into a image, nope, icon button, like this. And I could have done the image clickable as well by using a modifier as well. So I don't know which approach is better and why. So I think I can just use this for now. And or maybe I could have also, okay, use an icon here instead. And then I think the content description is not, oh yeah, it is. Okay, and then now let's here have a is visible is going to be remember mutable state of, and then I think, yeah, this should be lambda, mutable state of false. So by default it's not gonna be visible, my password. And then here I think on click I'm just gonna toggle the is visible is going to be, I'm just gonna toggle and then here I'll say I don't remember how was the it was a visual transformation or something like that to make, yeah, visual transformation. This is what we want. Visual transformation is gonna be if is visible, then visual transformation none, else visual transformation, but not a custom one, rather password, or what's available. There should be one by itself. Let's first do this. I don't really like adding logic here. Come on. Finally. Visual transformation. Password visual transformation. That's the one that I'm looking for. Okay, cool. Let's see if that's what I wanted. So yeah, so now my password is gone, and if I tap on the button, it shows. Cool. So I can also play a little bit with the icon, like use different icon when it's visible or when it's gone, or just change the color of this button when it's visible or when not. But I think playing with alpha is gonna be enough. But I think that's sort of already good enough. Good to go. And now if I let's revisit here a little bit the code maybe. So trailing icon, then visual transformation. Yeah, I'm not like 100% happy with this code here, but at least, you know, those are like composables and functions, and like this one, for example, with the password field is something that I can just reuse later on when I'll need it. At this point, I don't have a need, which means I don't have an evidence that I need, so I'm not gonna extract them into like standalone components at this point of time. But yeah, I think that's something that I'll do probably later on. And now I think it's a good time to check this in first. And I'll say sign up screen interactions. Sign up screen fields interactions. I'm not sure actually if everything's done because, well, yeah, I think the click on this button here basically will have to submit the values of the username and the password somewhere. But probably that somewhere is gonna be a view model that we'll have to inject here in the screen, the sign up, and the view model is gonna be something that will start working in a following episode. So that in the following episode we'll start working on the micro tests and come up with the entire logic for the sign up, and then just inject here the view model and basically pass the username and the password on click on the sign up, and then the sign up should happen and open another screen. So basically, if I just run once again my UI test and just watch on the emulator what happens, then I think we'll actually see that typing and everything. What I've done. So yeah. And now okay, it says fail to perform. So it cannot perform type password. So it looks for a password. So let's see what's wrong. What's the password field? Yeah, I'll also move this composable here. So they're gonna be in a row: screen, title, email, and then password. So the password label is password. Let's see what's going on. I don't know why it couldn't find the test. Okay, one more try maybe. Yeah. So it looks for a node, but it couldn't find the one with password. I don't know why is that. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, I think let's see. If I just remove this trailing icon and visual transformation out of the curiosity to see if that will make the test run. And if it does, yeah. So it has to do something with the trailing icon, and I hope it's not bugged, but yeah, I think now we have the failure that we want back. I'll figure out why this doesn't work, and maybe I can find, I'll use different way to search for the actual field on the screen. So let's maybe, this one should be, I'll just, sorry. This is not something that I want to check in, but this only, oops. Yeah, and then I'll just amend the previous commit, and then this one I'll just discard because I don't need it. So yeah, I think as I said, I'll search for a different way to match to match the password field. So I still need to have this this trailing icon and whatever, and the visual transformation. But anyway, that's something that I'll figure out off camera. The point of this is that now we have the test failing for the right reason, and from the next episode we can start working on a business logic solely and work on the micro tests. So I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you like it, and now you already have some idea how to work with Jetpack Compose. I think it's sort of new cool thing that anyway we'll have to learn either way. So I think this is a good start for all of us, I guess. So let's see how that's gonna go. So not to make this waste more time, not to make this longer, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Cheers.